Hi, it's Anne. Thanks for stopping by. We're going to do a little crafting with a twist today. This is a technique called the twisted ribbon, and it's used a fair amount in card making. It kind of comes in and out of fashion, as many things do. I haven't made it myself in a while, but I ran across a card that I sent to a friend the other day that used this technique, and I thought, oh, I should use the twisted ribbon again, because I started thinking junk journal materials like book pages. These little strips are from a jelly print that I did on an envelope. These could really be put to good use for a twisted ribbon technique. This particular piece is a journal card. They'd be great for belly bands. They'd be great for tags, all manner of things, even just an edge page embellishment. Anyway, we're going to go through the basics of the technique today. This guy is actually not finished because he's going to become a background for something else, but I want to get right to the technique. So I'm going to set him aside and we're going to get right into how you do the twisted ribbon. If you have seen the twisted ribbon technique before, you might be a little intimidated because generally the demonstrations show a lot of measuring. And the measuring is important. It's important to understand how they work. We're going to do one doing the measuring and the tick marks and such, but we're also going to do one where we're going to completely eliminate the need to measure and make our marks. So that one I haven't actually practiced before, but it just occurred to me as I was setting up that it was a hack that we could use. Anyway, let's go ahead and begin. The little measurements that we're going to make, this is going to indicate to us where we're going to put our ribbon. So we're going to make a series of tick marks with our pencil. And the spacing for those tick marks is going to be generally the same width that you make your strips. I've done a lot of different strips here, and I've chosen, this is an old, a piece of embossed cardstock that I had in my card making stash, cut to 3/4 of an inch, cut some book pages 3/4 of an inch, did the inking either side. And I chose these because they have a fair amount of contrast. There's a lot of contrast between this book page and this printed embossed paper. And this background is pretty neutral. So that's it. And I thought it might be easy for you to see as I begin. So because these are 3/4 of an inch wide, we're going to make our tick marks 3/4 of an inch apart. So I'm just going to use my clear ruler here. And go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And I like to use a pencil for this because if these tick marks end up showing just a little bit, it's easy to get in and erase them. There are 1, 2, 3. Oh, that came out almost correct at the end. This is the end I'm measuring from, so I'm going to turn around here and measuring from this end this time so that each of my tick marks will match up. I'm going to do 3/4 of an inch all the way down to 2, 3. I think, frankly, this measuring and marking is one of the most intimidating things about this technique, because as junk journalers, we don't usually like to measure that much, do we? We tend not to like precision. And there is a little bit of precision with this, but the hack we're going to try next is going to help make that not be so bad. Now, we choose, here's our 2 different ribbons that we're going to use, and the piece, the print that is the least dominant, we want to put down first. So in this case, that's going to be the book page. And are these? Nope, I'm not going to take my chances with cutting them in half. I'll cut this off a little bit. And I'm just going to use my glue stick. And I'm going to, for this, I'm going to run this across the top of the glue stick with my finger, just because it is such a glue intensive project that I don't like going through all those glue pages and kind of wasting glue on either side. I should have done this before. I'm going to put this on some baking paper, because again, I don't want to get glue all over my work surface. Not that it's a pristine work surface. I should get a new one, but anyway, so here we go. I like doing this with the horizontal. What I'm going to do is put the end of this strip up in the corner. There we go. And then I'm going to come down to my first tick mark. I hope you can see it there. This is about as close as I can get it, but can you see that first tick mark there? I'm coming down and so that the top is right there. There we go. And I'm going to do the same thing all the way down the line. And I've been known to patch these if it looks like I'm running out of strips. There we go. So I come, if you can see, I came up to this tick mark here. Pull that down a little bit. And then bring the other end down to the tick mark that's going to be one course down towards the bottom. So you can see how this is shaping up. Let's go do these, the rest of these. Yeah, I don't really know how long this technique has been around. I first noticed it, on one of the card making channels that I saw, probably a few years ago, and it kind of goes in and out. But it really is lovely. It seems to be beautiful for a kind of springy, it tends to be kind of joyful, kind of maybe kind of feminine. I love to do it with florals if I'm doing it for a card. But I thought I'd try the book pages and such here. And this, of course, is a page out of that abridged version of Little Women that I've been harvesting for a while. Yeah, that's actually gonna fit. I would have no problem at all patching these together if I needed to. So don't worry if you get to the bottom of a strip and you're running out of your paper ribbon of choice. There we go. So this tick mark and this tick mark, you're gonna have them tilted like this. There we go. Now we're gonna cut these. Just cut these. No need to, I think the scissors work better than a trimmer would in this case, because you can get the edge of your scissors right up next to your base there and make certain that everything you cut off is nice and straight. Certainly, I think that what's time consuming for this technique is the prep of the strips. And again, we're using the 3/4 inch strips, and we made our tick marks 3/4 of an inch apart. Now, here comes the fun part. Here's our contrast ribbon, and you can see exactly how this is going to shape up. I'm keeping a little cloth here handy to wipe my fingers off on, which seems a little bit easier for this technique than mopping up the glue off my work surface. Now what I'm doing here is my glued contrast strip. I'm going to put that right on top of this left-hand side, and I'm going to bring it, or right-hand side, and I'm going to bring it down right here on this side, on the left side, and adhere that down. because I'm confident enough with how this is shaping up now that I can work with it vertically. There we go. Right over that end on the right-hand side and back to the left and adhere it down. Can you see how this is taking shape? You have a little bit of waste because, you know, you never know exactly what length of ribbon you're going to need, but it's really, the waste is so minor. It's a nice, you know what would be nice for this is if you have a bunch of book page margins. We've done book page margin projects before, but I think it might be nice to use margins, particularly if you've done a lot of stamping on some of those margins and you don't know quite what to do with them. If you're inclined to cut them to a fairly precise, or to a pretty precise measurement, consistent in that way, you're going to have the makings for a nice technique. All right, now the magic happens with the trimming. Isn't that looking nice? And if you need to get in here and adhere a little bit more on the edges, you can do that. There we are. Wouldn't that make a nice little tag? You know, you could cut it. In fact, you know what? Should we go ahead and do that? Let's do that. Just getting my little card or tag making template here. And this would be really nice in a journal. I think this one I could leave just like this. And how about instead of putting a hole in there, these are the little pieces I just threw away. They got a reprieve from the trash bin. What about if we used these for the tag topper? Just glue a couple together like that. And they're kind of sandwiched together. And then I'll get a little bit of glue here on the inside. And we'll just get that little tag topper there. There we go. That looks cute. I might actually go back and put a staple on that because I think a staple might lend itself well here. Oh, there's my stapler. There's my little stapler. There we go. That looks kind of cute. Trim up a little bit more. And how about my rounded corners that I enjoy on tags? Now let's do a little bit of inking and we'll have a finished tag, although it doesn't have to be finished. I do love how this twisted ribbon just appears because, you know, you just glance at it and it really does look like it's a reversible ribbon going back and forth. That's cute. Let's go back to this one. And I'd like to show you a way that we can decorate this one, since this one is, well, I guess it's about the same. Oh, it's exactly the same size. It looks bigger to me. It's because I have this background on it. But what if we wanted to put perhaps a little flower on there. Wouldn't that be cute? Let's do that. I'm going to use my art glitter glue for this. These, I love these cutouts. These are digitals from my friend Julie Torrens. She sent those to me. And these are of her own wonderful artistic design. And I just love them. She sent me 2 or 3 sheets of these as a gift, and it was so sweet of her. I was in a Zoom meeting yesterday morning, and I sat off camera in the Zoom meeting and fussy cut out page after page of these beautiful little flowers and leaves, and she had bumblebees and all sorts in there. So that was fun. But I was thinking this would be a fun thing to put onto my twisted ribbon project. And how about down here? Yeah, that's going to work. I was paying attention to the Zoom meeting. It was important, but I could listen and do a little fussy cutting at the same time. Good. That one's complete. And look at that joyful background with that twisted ribbon. Let's do another one. Now, this is where I think I'd like to introduce the hack. And why don't we use maybe this pink background, and let me pull out some of my other strips. How would that plaid look? Here's some map. I don't think that plaid and that map look very good together, though. I do love the plaid. You know what? Maybe the plaid would look better on this. No, I like it on the pale background. What can we pair this plaid with? I could go with book page again. That's not the right one. Yep, let's just go with more book page. It's hard to go wrong with that. Okay, now here's the hack. We are going to not make any tick marks. What? That's madness. Well, we're going to do it, my friends, and I'll tell you why. Because what if we kind of didn't want, what if we wanted our twistiness to be a little more spread out? What if this was just, too close together? What if we wanted it, that little accordion expanded a little bit more? What if? Well, let's give that a go. Okay, so we have no tick marks here. I know it's like flying without a net, isn't it? But we're going to take this plaid. This is just a very thin scrapbook paper. And we're going to start in the same, with the horizontal orientation for our base. And I'm going to put that here. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball how far down I want that to go. I'm going to go like that. And then, how am I going to make certain that everything is parallel? Well, I have a little piece of file folder, and I'm just going to put that right there as a template. I love templates. And we're just going to see if this works. I don't see any reason mathematically why this should not work. And this is right next to it, and I think it's important to do the tick marks initially, just so you can kind of understand the construction of the whole thing. But let's take that little template out, and that's going to tell us where our next one's going to go. Oh my golly, I'm so excited. I think this really might be a process improvement. Go right next to that template, snugged up there. go. And we've got room for one more. Oh, I'm getting tickled about this. It's always fun to discover a hack, isn't it? As long as we understand the basic construction, then there we go. There's that one, and it's going to be quite a bit spread out. Got some glue schmutz on there. So because I have this on the baking paper, it's not going to stick too badly. And this paper is nice, and this base paper is thin, so I'll mount that on something else. This could even be like a little belly band or something. Well, okay. Let's put, that looks so pretty just like that, doesn't it? I mean, you could use it just like that if you wanted to. But let's go ahead and put the twist in there. I wanted this as the background. You know, well, perhaps I should have put the book page down first. I was so excited about the plaid. Let's go ahead with this book page second. It'll just be in the foreground a bit more. I did not follow my own advice that I told you earlier. Have your dominant print second. Okay, we're going to do this exactly like we did the last one. With your contrast ribbon right on top of the one in the background. Because we weren't doing any measuring for that second course anyway, were we? Got a little gap in that text, so I decided to move it down a little bit. One more. And right on top of that background strip, and right on top of that background strip. There we go. I'd like to mount it on something. This is not quite wide enough. I could cut it. Oh, yeah, I like that. I think that'd make a nice belly band. I don't want to get my big trimmer out here, so let me mark it here. And get out the old craft knife. Dan's out working in the garage and is in and out of the house, so you might hear him a little bit. Oh, it's a beautiful day. I spent a good portion of the morning out in the garden. Had a wonderful salad for lunch because our lettuce is doing really well. And it's just so nice to be able to think, oh, I'd like a salad for lunch. I'm going to go out into the garden and pick one. Yeah, I think that'll make a nice belly band. This is actually making me want to make some more cards again too. I think that this is a fun technique to use if you have some paper that really is just maybe not your favorite. You know, we all have those ugly papers, and I'm not going to round the corners with these. For a belly band, I'm going to leave the corners square. It is amazing how the ugly papers, sometimes when they're cut into strips or smaller bits, they're not so ugly anymore. Oh, that looks sweet. I think I'm going to put a Julie flower in the middle there too. Let's get this marked down. Or just check our time. Yeah, we're doing pretty good. And this will make a really nice belly band. If you're new to the junk journal game, a belly band is something you affix to a junk journal page. And you can slide a card or a journal card or a piece of old stationery or a postcard or anything that you like. You can slip underneath that, and it's a way to hold other ephemera in place. Let's go back to our Julie flowers. I am pretty sure she has these on her site. I'll check and I'll put a link in. I certainly will link to her channel. I like that big zinnia. I think that looks super cute. And do I maybe want to put a couple more? I think I do. I think I want to have zinnias sprinkling down. Oh, yes, 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 yes. I like that. What a nice background this gives. This time I am going to get out a glue page. This is a messy project, that's for sure. There's lots of little bits and bobs, but that doesn't bother us, does it? Of course not. We're junk journalers. We say bring on the mess. We'll just find more things to craft with that mess. Oh, Julie, my friend, what beautiful work you do. I'm learning so much about watercolor from Julie as well, so I'm eager to try. She had this really precious watercolor project with these dancing dolls. Oh, so much joy, so much energy. I think that's one thing I know I'm going to do this weekend is do some of Julie's dancing dolls. I'll let you know how they worked out. There we go. Oh, what a cute belly band this is going to be. And look at that pretty twisted ribbon background. Good. Let me set this aside. We'll look at all of these that we've done, and I'm going to show you a few examples of others. I don't want to lose my Julie stuff, so I'm just going to kind of carefully pile this up over here and get my glue put together. Here are some others with the twisted ribbon I've done. Here's an example of one. I'm telling you, I used, instead of using paper, I used fabric ribbon, and you've seen me do a fabric or fabric tape before. I like using the fabric tape. I think that I was a little taken aback because it just seemed a little wide. The proportions seemed a little funny to me. But when I saw this, I thought, what about if I put a little sentiment on there. This is actually a journal card, but I could put it in a gift journal. And what if I just put a little sentiment there? So this was something I had left over from that library card project. How many times can I do this the wrong way? Apparently 3 times today. I'm just going to put a little Fabri-Tac on this little plate that was literally sitting here on my desk, being sad and lonely because I had not used it. And I'm liking this better now. I think the proportions are better when there's some sort of a focal point there. So that twisted ribbon, yeah, that twisted ribbon is really great. So again, I like that. And I had a little one, I think I had another little one I did over here. Yeah, this was cute. I didn't put any sort of a background on this, but this, look how cute that is, being super narrow. I should mount it on something. That might be nice on that yellow. Let me just quickly do that before we go. And we'll just carry this through. Carry this over the finish line. This is with a book page background that I do like that. You're not missing anything over here. I'm just putting glue on this little piece because this is pretty thin. This could be a nice little, a small belly band. It could be a little tuck spot. And it looks like I have a little bit of strip here. These were just 1/4 inch strips, so these were very different. And this, I think I did use tick marks for this. That was before I figured out the whole little template thing. Because I did my tick marks every inch, it came out fine, but I had a lot of unused tick marks that I had to go back and erase. And so that is why I do say, if you're using a pencil and doing tick marks, make them whatever, space apart you want. I have been tending to use the same width as when I make the tick marks, I've been using the same width as my paper strips. But just be careful if you vary that when you're doing the tick marks, because you're going to end up with a few showing. It's perfectly okay, just erase them. That's actually one reason that I did like the notion of using that template, because I wasn't restricted to having my tick marks be the same width as my strips of paper. That's cute too. Do you know what? I wonder if I'm just here looking at this thing. This is literally in, I'll show you, my little trash bin that's sitting here over my desk. I had this little strip. I think I'm going to ink that and glue that down the middle and see how that looks. This could be just an embellishment. It could be a little tuck spot, a little side pocket. You can tell these things are addictive. I mean, look how many strips I have. I'm going to be working on those till dinner time and beyond. So many, little bookmarks, so many different ways you can. That looks cute with that little strip down the middle of that twisted ribbon, doesn't it? And what else is on my desk here? I have this little circle. Yep, that's where that guy's going to go. We can craft our way through all kinds of cleanup activities, can't we? When we just use what we've got on our desk. Okay, I think that's gonna, I think that is gonna do it for this time, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you try the twisted ribbon. This one, it looks like it needs some kind of an embellishment, but for now I'm gonna leave it like this. And oh, I love these beautiful pieces of Julie's. They look great with the twisted ribbon. Have fun twisting. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.